The bold and the beautiful, explosive truths, shattered loyalties, and the fall storm that changes everything. Chaos is coming to the bold and the beautiful. And it's not creeping, it's crashing in like a tidal wave. Secrets are exploding, relationships are combusting, and the fall season promises to tear apart everything the Forresters, Spencers, and Logans thought they knew. From Will's harrowing discovery to Ridge's never-ending romantic carousel, Thomas' fury, and Sheila's lies unraveling at the seams, the drama is at a breaking point. There is no breathing room now. Every character is at risk of losing something, some their hearts, others their sanity. It all begins with Will Spencer. The tech-savvy son of Bill and Katie has spent weeks deciphering cryptic messages from a secret admirer, a mysterious figure who drew him in with haunting texts and a single image of a mask. What began as intrigue has transformed into obsession, and now the truth hits him like a freight train. The messages, the night he couldn't forget, the masked woman, it was Luna Nozawa all along. Luna, the woman he never expected. Luna, who had disappeared into the shadows. Luna, who shares blood with Lee Finnegan. The revelation doesn't just shake Will, it threatens to break him. Because Luna isn't just a secret from his past. She's the weight pressing down on his present. He's in love with Elektra, and he knows the truth will destroy her. Their love was supposed to be clean, untouched. But now Luna's name, her face, her body burns between them like fire. Will is terrified. Terrified of losing Elektra. Terrified of who he was that night. Terrified of what Luna will do with the truth now that he knows. And then there's Lee. Doctor. Lee Finnegan has spent her career healing others, saving lives, protecting those she loves, but this time, she's crossed a line. She hid Luna, protected her, nursed her, lead for her. And now the truth is bleeding out. Luna, once thought dead, is very much alive. And Lee didn't just know saved her. In doing so, she shielded a fugitive from justice. Luna didn't just vanish. She ran. And now, her return could trigger a legal, personal, and emotional avalanche. Lee is about to face consequences, and in the bold and the beautiful, there's no court harsher than family. As the storm rages on, Ridge Forrester does what he does best, jump from one woman to another like a man fleeing a burning building. Just 2 minutes after calling off his engagement to Taylor Hayes, Ridge finds himself standing in front of Brooke Logan with a ring in his hand and that familiar glint of empty promises in his eyes. Of course, she says yes. She always does. Brooke is the addiction Ridge never quits, the fallback he always returns to. The wedding isn't just inevitable, it's urgent. Brooke knows if she hesitates, another betrayal is just around the corner. She wants to lock Ridge down fast, before Taylor recovers, before Steffi explodes, before Thomas goes nuclear. But Taylor isn't recovering. Not yet. She's shattered. Ridge's rejection cuts deeper this time because it came after hope. Real hope. They had it all laid out for building their family, growing old together. And he threw it away for Brooke. Again. It's humiliating, and Taylor is spiraling. But there's a silver lining on the horizon. Sources say she find love again, a love. This fall may finally be the season where Taylor breaks free of Ridge's grip and reclaims her life on her own terms. It's about time. Unfortunately, Thomas Forrester doesn't have the same clarity. When he finds out what Ridge did, how quickly he abandoned Taylor and ran back to Brooke, Thomas goes ballistic. Not just angry, not just upset, unhinged. His rage is volcanic. He feels betrayed on every level, not only as a son but as a man who's been struggling to keep himself sane. Ridge's move is more than a romantic switch, it's a knife in the back. Thomas trusted his father to make the right choice, to stay loyal, to finally give Taylor what she deserved. Instead, Ridge embarrassed her, and now Thomas is close to cracking. Ridge should tread carefully. The last time Thomas felt this kind of betrayal, it cost lives. This time, it could cost him his father. Steffi Forrester won't stay quiet either. She's never liked Ridge's back and forth games, and this time, it's her mother who's left in ruins. And as if that weren't enough, Steffi is dealing with another disaster, Sheila Carter. Sheila's marriage to Deacon Sharp is hanging by a thread. The woman has once again buried secrets so deep they're ready to erupt, and this time, it's Luna. Deacon had no idea about Luna's past, about the two friends she left dead behind her, about the unstable mind she's kept hidden. When Deacon finds out Sheila knew and said nothing, the betrayal will rock him. He's forgiven her crimes before, but this could be unforgivable. Their marriage may not survive the fallout. As the adult drama explodes, a younger generation is beginning to stir beneath the surface. Rumors swirl that the show may age up Kelly Spencer, Beth Logan, and Douglas Forrester, or perhaps introduce a new slate of teenage characters tied to the core families. Either way, the next generation is coming, and their stories will ripple through the legacy characters like wildfire. In the middle of it all, Liam Spencer is playing a dangerous game. His closeness with Hope Logan is intensifying. Their bond, once shattered by betrayal, is slowly maintaining, and it's not going unnoticed. Carter Walton, Hope's new flame, is growing suspicious. And it won't be long before Daphne's own storyline is about to heat up, becomes the key to everything. Daphne, still a mystery to many, will rise to prominence this fall, especially when someone from her past returns to town. That return could ignite chaos across multiple families, affecting not just Carter, Hope, and Liam, but also Will, Electra, and Bill Spencer. Speaking of Bill, the Spencer patriarch is once again the center of a storm. With Luna's return pulling Will back into the family, both Bill and Katie have rushed in to protect their son. And in that shared mission, old feelings have begun to rekindle. There's warmth again, something honest and rare in a world full of betrayal. Bill and Katie's spark may not have died completely, and Luna's presence might just be the unexpected glue that brings them back together for good this time. But while one couple reunites, another faces destruction. Will and Electra were meant to be fresh, passionate, and touchable. But Luna's secret is a dagger to the heart of their romance. Electra doesn't know yet, but she will. And when she does, Will might lose the only pure thing he's ever had. He's torn between guilt, loyalty, and self-preservation, knowing that the moment Electra learns the truth, everything crumbles. Luna, once a shadow, now stands in the spotlight, and the ripple effect of her past is about to drown them all. Meanwhile, Lee Finnegan will be forced to answer for everything. Saving Luna wasn't just a personal choice, it was a cover-up. And in the world of the bold and the beautiful, cover-ups never stay covered. As the whispers grow louder, as people begin to connect the dots, Lee will face questions not just from her family, but from the law. If charges are filed, if her medical license is threatened, if trust is lost, Lee could lose everything. And through it all, one thing becomes clear. This fall in the bold and the beautiful, there are no sidelines. Every character is in play. Every secret is a fuse. Every love story is a trap. The stakes have never been higher. The return of Luna, the rise of Daphne, the unraveling of Sheila, the fury of Thomas, the devastation of Taylor, the desperation of Will. Each thread is pulling tighter, and the tapestry of deception, desire, and destruction is nearing its breaking point. The question isn't if everything will explode. It's when. And when it does, not one person will walk away unscathed. The bold and the beautiful. Steffi's power move shakes Forrester Creations to its core. Steffi Forrester is back in Los Angeles, and she isn't easing inches, coming in hot. After a shortened maternity leave that caught everyone off guard, Steffi storms through the doors of Forrester Creations with one mission: reclaim her home, reclaim her family, and reclaim her power. The peace, however fragile, that had settled over the company and within the complicated tangle of Hope, Liam, and Thomas, is about to be obliterated. With one entrance, Steffi resets the game board, and everyone knows it. No one expected her return so soon. Her family had barely begun to adjust to her absence, and the vacuum she left behind was quickly filled by Hope and Thomas, whose professional synergy turned hope for the future into a success story once again. Liam, meanwhile, had begun hovering dangerously close to Hope, drawn by nostalgia, regret, and the wreckage of his failed marriage. And Thomas, still burning with quiet love for Hope, had remained restrained Respucult, almost dormant. But that was before Steffi reappeared. That was before she made it clearer. She's not playing nice anymore. Her arrival is sudden, but it's not a surprise, it's a statement. She doesn't knock. She doesn't ask. She walks into the design office as if she never left, her voice calm but unshakably firm. Steffi doesn't do subtle. She walks straight into the center of the storm, eyes sharp, her expression unreadable. And then she speaks. She's back. She's in charge. And anyone who thought her maternity leave meant the end of her reign was sorely mistaken. The timing couldn't be worse for Ridge. As CEO, he's already floundering between personal betrayals and professional divisions. Having just proposed to Brooke Logan mere minutes after calling off his engagement with Taylor Hayes, Ridge is already under fire. Taylor is crushed, Thomas is furious, and now Steffi is back, another voice demanding to be heard, another force Ridge cannot control. Steffi isn't just here to help run Forrester Creations, wants control. Real control. And she wants answers. She immediately targets the tension brewing between Hope and Thomas. While the rest of the company has been cautiously optimistic about their collaboration, Steffi knows better. She senses the emotional undercurrent, the glances, the restraint that's on the verge of snapping. She confronts Thomas first, in private, asking him point-blank whether he still loves Hope. He denies nothing, but insists he's keeping it professional. Steffi doesn't believe that for a second. She knows her brother too well. When he loves, he doesn't let go. And Hope, despite everything, is still a weakness he can't afford. But Steffi's concern doesn't stop with Thomas. She turns her scrutiny toward Hope, whose romantic indecision continues to cause chaos. Hope is flustered by Steffi's return. The power dynamic has shifted. Without Steffi in the building, Hope was free to navigate her feelings between Liam and Thomas without anyone challenging her authority. Now Steffi is back to remind everyone who really holds the reins. She questions Hope's loyalty, not just to the company, but to herself. If Hope wants to be seen as a serious designer and leader, she needs to stop toggling between men and start making decisions. The confrontation spills into the design room where, for the first time since Steffi's return, all three players show up, Liam and Thomas in the same space under her watchful eye. Liam tries to keep the peace, but Steffi cuts through the tension like a blade. She demands transparency. Are Hope and Liam reconnecting? Is Thomas still in love with Hope? Is this personal drama going to derail the company again? Everyone is silent. That silence says more than words ever could. Ridge watches from the sidelines, increasingly uneasy. His children are divided. The woman he just proposed to, Brooke, is watching this chaos unfold with both amusement and suspicion. She knows Steffi is a threat not just to Hope, but to Brooke herself. Steffi doesn't hide her contempt. She blames Brooke for destroying Ridge and Taylor's future, for manipulating her way back into Ridge's life. And now she sees Brooke gaining more power by influencing Ridge's corporate decisions. Steffi won't stand for it. The boardroom becomes a battleground. Steffi calls a meeting with Ridge, Carter, Eric, and Brooke to lay out her plan, restructure the leadership hierarchy. She proposes taking a more active role in major decision-making, reclaiming the executive authority she believes she's earned. Brooke objects suddenly at first, but then more aggressively. She accuses Steffi of creating drama and undermining the peace. Steffi counters that peace is just code for complacency, and Forrester Creations didn't become a fashion empire by playing it safe. Caught in the middle, Ridge falters. Again, he promises to consider all perspectives, which only inflames the situation. Steffi wants support. Brooke wants dominance. And Taylor, though absentis, still present in every argument. Thomas sides with Steffi, warning Ridge that ignoring her voice will only deepen the family fractures. Eric remains diplomatic, but even he admits Steffi's absence left a void that no one truly filled. But Steffi doesn't just shake things up inside the company, she disrupts outside it, too. Her sudden return interrupts Liam's emotional drift back toward Hope. He thought he had time. He thought he could linger in the gray area. But with Steffy back, his feelings shift. Old instincts resurface. Memories of their passion, their family, their shared childhood all come flooding back. Hope notices. So does Thomas. And the barely contained love triangle reignites with a vengeance. As the pressure mounts, Steffy begins reasserting herself in the fashion world as well. She reviews Hope for the future's latest campaigns, critiques the direction, and starts to push her own vision. Hope feels undermined. Thomas is caught in the middle again. The creative synergy between Thomas and Hope begins to unravel under Steffy's scrutiny. Arguments turn personal. Resentments resurface. The once cohesive design team fractures just as the fall collection enters production. Meanwhile, outside the office walls, the fallout continues. Taylor, devastated by Ridge's betrayal, isolates herself. She doesn't return Steffy's calls at first, but when she does, the pain is raw. Steffy comforts her mother but privately vows to never let Ridge's indecisiveness wreck their family again. She sees herself now not just as a business leader, but as the guardian of the Forrester legacy, and that includes protecting Taylor, Thomas, and even Douglas. And Douglas, too, begins to feel the shifts. With Steffy back and Hope distracted by Liam and Thomas, the young boy senses the instability. Steffy notices. She spends time with her nephew, reminding him he's loved and steady even if the adults in his life are anything but. Her return provides a stabilizing force for Douglas, even as his parents continue their silent war over affection and attention. As fall deepens, Steffy's presence at Forrester becomes permanent. She isn't visiting. She isn't filling in. She's here. Fully. Her name isn't just on the masthead, it's carved into the foundation. And she intends to remind everyone why. The balance of power is no longer balanced at all. Ridge is cornered. Brooke is furious. Hope is anxious. Thomas is emboldened. Liam is confused. And Steffy, she's just getting started. In The Bold and the Beautiful, returns are never simple. They come with consequences, with echoes of unfinished business and scars that never healed. Steffy's return doesn't just reignite old rivalries, it redraws the map entirely. The peace was always temporary. Now, the war for control of the company, of the family, of the future has begun. And this time, Steffy isn't backing down.